Hello everybody. Good morning. All right. Just making sure I've got everything set up the way I like, which I believe I do. Just double check I've got everything in my order that I like. 5 Ricardos. This is the Eva Bright Floral. Hello, hello. There. Brown, yep, it's all together. What do we have for Valentine's Day? Nothing. Okay, sweet. All right. Good morning. Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I will just give a few more minutes for everyone to hop on. I'm just making sure I've got my stuff organized for the week. These are the right ones. Buyers. Yeah, that looks right. Perfect. Those are over here. Just double checking because we've got a 1 p.m. launch today, but then we also have the regular, and I believe the 1 p.m. is a bunch of restocks of Evatank. So yes, that's exactly what it is. So I've got these here, and then, okay, yeah, perfect. All right. Good morning, Jessica. Hello. All right. It's been a couple minutes. Apologies for the slight delay, everybody. We were just making sure we actually had everything, just because, especially with our 1 p.m. launch day being a lot of restocks, we just wanted to see what we actually had up here for me to have on my rack to try on. A lot of the stuff just because it's either still being processed or because it was picked up during Monday Night Live. Just a lot of chaos in general up in the photo room. So I have most of what I need. If I'm missing anything, I can always text the girls as well. And in the most cases, it's Michelle May, where we have a ton of different color variations. So I will have at least one of the pieces in my size to try on, maybe not all the colorways, but I should have most of what we need to get going. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle. I am one of the plus size models here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I typically wear a size 2X or 3X and an 18W in Judy Blues. For height reference, I'm 6'1", so I'm very tall. Both of us plus size models are quite tall. So I talk about like length and things like that as they pertain to me being in a long stretched out body with like sleeve lengths and things like that. And also bust wise, I'm a lot smaller in the bust than most people who would be wearing a size 2X, 3X. I wear a 46B/44C, so I'm a little bit, less endowed, but I've got nice linebacker shoulders to make up for it. So that is me, and with everything, let's go ahead and get started. I'm currently wearing one of the Evatanks. So like I was just mentioning, we have a launch that is a mix of restock and new for the Evatanks from Michelle May. So the one I am wearing right now is the Evatank in green. We have this one available in sizes small through 3X, and that includes both the extra large and the 1X. So this is from Michelle May. So we do find that Michelle May's plus size sizing is a little bit more on the generous side typically. So Melissa sizes down to the extra large in the straight sizes, and then I wear a 2X in the regular size, or in the plus sizes for this, whereas like I'm usually between a 2X and a 3X. So I more often wear a 2X for Michelle May. Morning, Cheryl. Michelle, have you tried the 3X, and what made you choose the 2X instead? So with the 3X, I find, I can probably grab one. I think this is a 2X, but if I go around the corner, I think I have a 3X in another style. For me, I prefer it to be a little bit more of, not like fitted, like you can see with this one, like it's more fitted, but it's not necessarily like tight, like sitting close to the body. Whereas I find with the 3X, it kind of just hangs off my shoulders in a way that isn't as flattering. Like instead of being like loose and flowy, I feel like it just kind of hangs, if that makes sense, because it's like the size around here is good, but it's too big in the shoulders, and because of that it just looks a little bit too wide and it doesn't sit the way that I'd like. So that's the reason I opt for the 2X instead of the 3X. And then also too, I find that with the majority of Michelle May pieces, in general, that's the same thing where I find that the 3Xs tend to be a little bit just too wide for me, if that makes sense. But I can track down a 3X in one of these and try one on, which let me do that right now, because I believe of all of the Ava tanks that I have here, I believe they are all 2Xs. So let me go track down a 3X. I know I have one on my rack somewhere, so on the other side. So I will be right back and try that on for you, Jessica. I knew it. I knew I still had a 3X of one of them here. So I'm just going to double check to see which day this one launches. This is the Pretty in Pink Floral. I believe this is part of the 1 p.m. launch, but I just want to double check before I say, because there's so many different florals. We have the Alyssa, yes, the restock Ava tank in Pretty in Pink Floral. This is one of them that is restocking today at 1 p.m. So I will go ahead and try this one on in the 3X just so we can see Jessica. I will say with the Ava tank, because these are a little bit of a more fitted style compared to something like the Blair long sleeves or like the Sophie tees. This is one where it's a little bit more, like, it's not as like oversized looking, like it doesn't look like it's too big in the same way, but absolutely. I'm nodding like how you can see me. I mean, I can see you in my heart or something, we'll go with that. But yeah, I knew for sure that I had one somewhere in a 3X. So it's definitely, I mean, that's why I'm here. If I can try it on and show it off in another size, that's like the whole point. So yeah. Yeah, which with the sizing for Michelle May, I find it's like mostly consistent, but there is the odd thing where I still wear a 3X, and there's the odd thing where I actually prefer a 1X of all things as well. Okay, so now I have the 3X on for the Ava tank. So this is the Pretty in Pink Floral. So with this one, like, as you can see, like, it still fits. Like, it's not super massively oversized by any means. It is just a bit of a flowier, drapier fit. The reason for myself personally why I prefer the 2X is I find that the straps are just a little bit too wide in the Ava tank of the 3X for me. Like, it's giving like almost like it's meant, like it's fitting almost like a muscle shirt for me. Just, I feel like there's just a little bit too much width. I think if I was a little bit bustier, I would be happier with the 3X, but because I do have a smaller chest, even with my wide shoulders, I find that there's just a little bit too much going on up here. But like I said, like from here down, I actually do really like the fit of the 3X. So if you are bustier than me, which let's be real, most women in the 2X, 3X size range are, you could probably be really happy with a 3X. I do really like the length on the 3X. I get a little bit more length with it. But yeah, it is mostly just like the way that it fits. It's just a little too wide in the upper body and the shoulders area, which is why I prefer the 2X. Yeah, right, Christine, that is a super good question as to why I picked both. But I mean, as you can see, the 3X is still, it's not like I'm not drowning in it. Like there's other pieces from Michelle May, like some of the cozy sweaters where I size down to the 1X, and if I put on the 3X, it's like I'm drowning in it. That's definitely not the case. Like you could definitely size up to a 3X in this one if that's the case. It is definitely quite a bit looser in the arms and shoulders, like for sure. Like you can see like there's a lot of like extra room, even like the neckline doesn't quite want to sit flush. And then it's actually going like past my shoulder on there. So yeah, that's definitely the biggest thing. Great question, Jessica. You're starting me off on my toes right at the beginning, which is great. So yeah, so we have tons of different colors that are either new or restocking. So for restocks, we have the cherries pattern. I wish I had that one here because it's so cute, but I do not. It's the one, it was a pre-Valentine's where it's pink with little like cherry bunches all over it. It is the friggin' cutest thing. Oh, thanks, Annette. Perfect. Yeah, and that's the thing, is it's totally up to like personal preference too. Like some people are like, well, that's actually the way I want it to fit. So again, that's why I'm here, so that we can actually like see how both look and try them both on and see, because it's totally up to personal preference. So for restocks, again, we have the cherries, we have the dusty lavender, which is right here. Absolutely stunning pattern. The green that I have here, this is one of the new colors as well. We have a restock of blue. We have cottage floral as one of the restocks. We have a new heathered lavender. Actually, is this heathered lavender or dusty lavender? So this is, I lied, this is the new heather lavender, and if I hold it up close now I can see, yeah, this is definitely like a heathered lavender for this one, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Annette. We definitely find that the Michelle May plus sizes do tend to fit a little bit bigger. So while I'm in between 2X and 3X, more often a 3X in most of our other core brands, in Michelle May, I'm almost always a 2X, sometimes even a 1X. Very rarely do I stick with a 3X. So you're totally right. We found the same thing. Melissa, more often than not, won't actually even wear the plus size 1X. She'll go with the regular size extra large just for that same reason. 2 in my cart, ready to buy, and didn't pull the trigger because you didn't know what size to get. Well, I'm glad you waited for me because, yeah, I'm so glad that you asked because, yeah, I have both of them here. And, yeah, it totally goes. Like I said, if I had more junk in the trunk up top, I think that the 3X would be perfect for me, but just because I don't have as much going on, I do prefer the 2X. So I'm glad that you waited for that. And hopefully they're still in your size when you go to checkout because they're so comfy. They're just nice, awesome, basic tank tops. What else do we have for colors? We also have the Blair short sleeve top in cottage floral restocking. That was the Blair t-shirt. I don't think I have that one on my rack. That one sold out like pretty much instantaneously when it launched. You guys were crazy about it, which I get because the Blairs, the long sleeves are like my favorite thing for Michelle May. So it doesn't surprise me the short sleeve version also disappeared pretty much immediately. And then we have a few other, we have the pretty pink floral that I'm wearing and the rose that are going to be restocking. And then we have a couple of other new Michelle May tops launching as part of that as well. So we just have like a ton of stuff that is coming today. So that restock is with all of the Ava tanks is going to be at 1 p.m. I'm just going to double check. I believe it's mostly just the Ava tanks at 1 p.m. There's a lot of Michelle May, so it's hard to be sure. There we go. The Blair short sleeve and the Ava tanks are all going at 1 p.m. So the rest of the Michelle May that I have the new stuff, that's part of our regular drop that's going to be at 11 p.m. So that would be the stuff that I have over here. We have the Sophie T in cottage floral. And then we also have the Alyssa long sleeve top in pretty and pink floral, which I don't believe I have here. Where do I? Is that this one? I do. It is over here. Perfect. So I have both of these tops, and then the jeans that I'm wearing are going to be going today also, so I can switch into those and go back. Yes, Annette, we're restocking at 1 p.m. today. So all of the Ava tanks and then the Blair short sleeve are going to be at 1 p.m. today, and then the new Michelle May pieces that I'm about to try on, they are part of our regular 8 p.m. drop. I'm just going to bring my little chair that you guys can't see over here just a little bit to the corner. Oh good, you still can't see it. Just so that I have somewhere to put my, my things, and then I will be right back. So moving on from the Ava tank restock, I'm now moving into the new Michelle May, and I am switching tops but keeping the same pattern. Oops. And throwing hangers around apparently. So keeping on with the kind of like cute pink floral theme, we have the Alyssa long sleeve top in pretty and pink floral. I love the Alyssa long sleeve tops as well. The only thing I would change about them if I could is I would add thumb holes, because I love the little thumb holes on the sleeves on like every top ever. So I would add those if I could. But other than that, I love how the Alyssa long sleeves tops fit. So this is the 2X. Again, this style is meant to be a little bit more of a fitted style. I find with the 3X, same as the other one, it's just a little bit too wide in the shoulders, and it's definitely just kind of hangs like too long and loose here, because again, this is meant to be more of a fitted style. No problem, Annette. That is, again, why I am here. So this is the Alyssa long sleeve top in pretty and pink floral. This one is going to be retailing for, uh-oh, why is half of my Shopify screen missing? Just gonna, oh boy. Okay, I guess we're just operating with part of the screen missing. That is okay. So this is the Pretty in Pink Floral. This one is retailing for $49, and we have it, oh sorry, that's the tank, that's $49. I was gonna say that's cheap. $52, so I mean really $3 more for whole sleeves. That's not a bad deal. And we have this one available in sizes small through 3X. That includes small through extra large in the regular sizes, and then 1X through 3X in the plus sizes. I'm wearing my typical 2X in this one. We all wear our typical Michelle May sizing, which is Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa wears the extra large in the straight sizes, and then again I'm in my usual 2X for this one. Biggest difference between this and the Blair, other than the thumb holes, is definitely the more, not quite like a boat neck cut, but it has this more of like a U neckline cut out here, and it sits just a little bit closer to the skin. It's maybe just a little bit slimmer fit than the Blair, but not a ton so. And then this one has that same really cute pink ditzy floral, perfect for spring, perfect for Valentine's Day if you don't want to go full like little like love heart patterns. I feel like this is a more subtle but still kind of fun Valentine's inspired kind of pattern. Thank you, Annette. I love this top. And then we have the back here, and then the sleeves are a really nice length. Even in my 2X, with me being very tall, we can see the sleeves. Even when I hold up my arms, I still have a lot of length left here. So again, this one is the Alyssa long sleeve top. This is the Pretty in Pink Floral, $52 for this one, small through 3X, and this one will be launching at 8 p.m. today. And then I also have the jeans that I'm wearing that'll be part of the 8 p.m. lunch. Let me just kind of pull up my top a bit so we can see that. So these are from Judy Blue. These are the high-rise kick flare jeans in white, aka the Buyers. These are retailing for $87. We have sizes 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22W. I am wearing my typical 18W in these jeans. They do fit, I don't want to say snug, but they are like a fitted style in the top. So I know it looks like they might be snug, but I do promise that my typical 18 does fit. There's quite a bit of stretch in them, so I still have a lot of stretch in the waistband. So even if it looks like, ooh, they might run small, I promise these do fit as you'd expect. And everyone did wear their typical sizing. So Christine's in the 3, Carrie went with the 7, Melissa's in the 14, and I'm in my typical 18 for these ones. For these ones, I do find that the length is a little bit short if you are tall like me. If you are more petite and you're looking for a flare, I think these would be a fantastic option because you're not going to have to hem them as much. You're still going to get a lot of flare. For someone like me, they are short enough that they also almost look like they're kind of like a flared capri, so it's not the worst, but these are definitely a little bit on the shorter inseam side for sure. They are white, but then they have this contrast stitching. Sorry. Give me one sec. I try not to sneeze on camera. I don't know if anyone's actually offended by that, but I'm just like, I don't want to it feels like I'm sneezing in your faces and I don't want to do that. So I always try to step off camera. Anyways, excuse me. But it has this contrast stitching where it's this kind of like golden color. It's not the usual orangey yellowy, it's a little bit more of a golden bronzy kind of color. So the stitching just stands out just a little bit more, and then it has the darker kind of almost like bronzy hardware to go with it. So it's just a nice little detail. We have the cute little Judy Blue tag here in that same color. So it just gives it a little bit of extra pop, especially against the contrast of the white jean. And then we also, no stitching or embroidery on the back pockets or anything. It's just that contrast stitching, kind of where you would expect to see it on the tops of the jeans, like the pockets and things like that. So again, these are from Judy Blue. These are the Buyers, aka the high-rise kick flare jeans in white. $87 for these ones, and they're available in 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22, and everyone is wearing their typical Judy sizes for these guys. All right, and then I had one more piece that is dropping today that is not part of the restock. This is part of the regular drop that comes in plus, and that would be the Sophie T in Cottage Floral. So I'll go pop this one on as well. So this is the Cottage Floral, super cute. I wear the 2X in this one, and the Sophie T is definitely more of a relaxed fitting tee. A lot of the t-shirts that we have from Michelle May are a little bit more on the relaxed side, and the Sophie definitely holds true with that. We've got the cozy comfort tee is one I can think of off the top of my head. Of course, now that I have to like think about it on the spot, I'm like, I can't remember any of them. But yeah, so this one is a little bit more of a relaxed fit. Oh, and then there's both the pretty and pink floral. Something I find interesting is that there's a slight color difference. You can really see it when I hold it. Interestingly, oh no, there it is. If I hold it back, you can see that the Alyssa long sleeve is just slightly lighter, and then the Ava Tank in the pretty pink floral is just slightly darker. But other than that, the pattern is the same. Interesting. I just noticed that now that I'm holding them together. Yeah, so this is the Sophie T in Cottage Floral. This one is in a 2X. Again, this one is one of those ones where it's a little bit more of a relaxed fit, and in the 3X I find it's just a little bit too wide. This one I would say fit-wise is just slightly more relaxed than the Blair, but quite similar. They're definitely stretchy, and that's true for pretty much all of the like jersey knits that we have from Michelle May. Is they're definitely, or you're probably talking about the jeans, sorry. These ones I would say they're on the stretchier side. There is a decent amount of structure, especially in the flare part, but they do have a lot of stretch in the denim, as you can see, like right here, like I'm getting a lot of stretch. Like there's a pretty good spandex content, and especially in the waist, there is a ton of stretch. So I would say definitely more on the stretchy side as opposed to the structured side for the denim. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the t-shirt. I'm like, structured, it's a t-shirt, but no, you meant the jeans. It's just there's a little bit of a delay between the comments and when I actually like see them. So that is a fair question, Annette, and yeah, I would say definitely more on the stretchy side for the jeans. So here we have the Sophie T. This one is retailing for $49. We have small through extra large, and then 1X, 2X, and 3X. Again, we're all wearing our typical sizes, which is Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa wears the extra large, and then I am in the 2X. One of the nice things about the Sophie, especially with it being a little bit more of a relaxed fit t-shirt, is that it has these really nice long sleeves. They're not quite elbow length. Well, if you're really petite, if you have short arms, they might be, but they are a little bit on the longer side, and they have this little rolled detail here. It is tacked down with a stitch on the inside and on the outside, just in one place, although I suppose if you wanted to, you could untack the stitches and have a bit of a cuffed effect, but I like, even with the rolled effect, they are a really nice longer length t-shirt sleeve, which is nice. And then we do have this V-neck here, which is nice. I feel like there's one other, I'm trying to remember, I think we have one other style that's V-neck from Michelle May, but it is nice because a lot of them I find are rounded neck, so it is nice to get something a little bit different. And then for the top, it is a nice length, not quite covering my butt, but pretty close. Again, if you're a little bit more petite, you could probably wear this almost tunic length, and it is straight across, front and back. There's no scalloping or swooshing on the side here, just a nice like straight across top. Lots of really gorgeous colors in this one. I believe it was, I can't remember if it was this tee or if it was the tank version, but Carrie had this on with like 3 different cardigans, and she was like, oh, which one? And it literally matched all 3 of them perfectly, because I think one of them was pink and it matched the florals, one of them was green, and one of them was like a bluey purple, and they all looked just like absolutely perfect with this tee. So super pairable, because even with a lot of different colors, they're all colors that harmonize together, so you'd be able to just like pick any of the colors out of here to pick as your like core accessory piece, and you can match it with tons of stuff. So again, this is the Sophie T in Cottage Floral, $49, sizes small through 3X, and we are all wearing our typical Judy Blue sizing for this one. So that is everything that I have for today. Lots of restocks as well as some new products coming in, so that is super exciting for that. All right, let's move on to Wednesday. We have the Gianna pullovers. I unfortunately don't have the green one on my rack, which makes me a little bit sad, but I do have the other 3. The coral is my favorite. So we have those launching. And then we also have a pair of Judy Blue shorts, and there is a Dex top. This one is supposed to be here. There we go. There is, oh, and the Allison D. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff actually for Wednesday. So I have quite a bit of stuff. There is also a Dex top that is supposed to come in Plus, but I don't think I have that one, and I don't think I ever took, oh no, maybe I did take photos of that. I'll quickly go take a peek and see if I have it, because I remember taking photos in it, but I don't think it was on my rack, so I'll be right back and see if I can find that one. Aha, I found it, but I know why it didn't end up on my rack. It's because it was hiding on Melissa's rack. So this is the Dex top. I feel like this will look really cute with the white jeans. So I'm gonna quickly throw this one on while I have the white jeans on, because I think that's gonna look really cute together. And then after that, I'll throw the shorts on and all of the different sweaters. For the Gianna sweaters, just for my sanity, I'm not gonna try on every single color. I'll just try on one of them, and then you can see the other colors hanging there. I have tried on all of them for photos, so I can promise you they do all fit the same because I have worn them all. But yeah, just because we got a little bit of a late start, I think it'll be better for everybody if I just try on one of them and then show off the colors for the others. All right. So here we have our first piece for Wednesday. Oh yeah, this looks really cute with the white jeans. That's definitely a good fit. Hi Reen, hello. Even if you're late, I'm still happy you can join us. You can always go back and watch the beginning anyways. I'm just happy to have you here as always. So this is from Dex. This is the River embroidered button front shirt in medium blue wash and ivory. This one's retailing for $80 and it's available in the full Dex size range. So we have extra small through extra large and then X, 1X, and 2X. This one is, how did everyone else fit? So I'm in the 2X, which luckily I was able to find it. Christine wears the small, Carrie sized up to the large, and I wonder if the 2X was on Melissa's rack because she decided to size up to the 2X. I'm not sure. I do find that the 2X fits me decently. It's not too tight in the shoulders or anything like that. It's maybe a little bit short in the torso for me, but I mean, I'm also 6'1", so that's just something that happens. And then I do find the sleeves are a little bit short, but this is not necessarily new, and I don't think I find that Dex quite often is short in the sleeves for me, regardless of how the rest of the garment fits. I find that their sleeves do tend to be kind of short, at least in the plus sizes proportionate to how the rest of the 2Xs fit me. But in terms of like width and like room in the bust and shoulders, I do find that this fits really nicely. It is a 100% Tencel fabric and it feels really nice. It's super soft. It feels like that kind of shirt that's already been like worn and washed a million times, and not to the point where it looks ragged, but it just feels just buttery soft. Like it feels lived in and loved, which is fantastic. On your workout music, oh great, I'm just gonna have to sit there and be like, 1, 2, 3, count your reps for you. Oh, that's good incentive for me to go to the gym now with my my new job that I started recently. I work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off in a camp environment, and the camp actually has a really nice gym, and I've only just finished my last week when I got back on Wednesday. That was my first full 2-week rotation, so I'm still getting used to it, but by the time I head back next Wednesday, I think I will be feeling good enough to actually start using the gym, so I'm very excited. And it's the great price of free, so can't complain about that. But anyways, yeah, this is all 100% Tencel fabric, so it feels really, really nice. It is a little bit shorter in the torso for me. I think that's more so just a me being tall thing as opposed to a length overall, because on Christine, it definitely doesn't look too short. We have a little bit of the scalloping there, and it is slightly longer in the back than the front, but not a significant amount. So, and then it has the kind of like dress shirt yoking in the back. I see my collar's kind of popped. I'm trying to flip it around. I think I made it worse. I'm trying to fold it back. I don't know if that helps. It feels a bit better. But yeah, we have the yoking in the back, kind of like a dress shirt. So again, this is the Dex River embroidered button front shirt in medium blue wash with ivory, because it has these cute little flowers throughout. $80 for this one, and again, this one's available in the full Dex size range of extra small through extra large, and then X, 1X, and 2X. Okay, perfect. Next we have the Gianna pullovers. They're definitely like the big one. for Wednesday. So I'm gonna grab, I think, the coral. So again, there's a green one that I don't have handy. I might see if I can snatch it off, not in my size, but just snatch it off Christine or Carrie's rack for color. But we have the pink, the blue, and the coral. The coral is my favorite, so that's the one that I'm gonna put on for myself. And then we also have some shorts to try on. Guys, we have so many shorts coming in the next couple of weeks between photos this like last week and this week. I've tried on probably like 7 pairs of shorts, so we have a lot of shorts coming in. A lot of people have been asking for it, so super excited. Hi Carolyn, hello, I'm so glad you were able to join us. Good morning, or it might be afternoon for you. I'm pretty close, so I think you're 1 or 2 time zones away, if I remember correctly. Okay, actually, let's put this one back. All right, I will be right back. I used to think that the idea of wearing a sweater with shorts was so strange. So I'm like, why would you wear something warm on top and then have your legs out? And then now as an adult, like ironically you'd think as a child I would do that and not think anything of it, but now as an adult I do that all the time. Especially with the weather we've been having the last couple of days where at least in like the Edmonton Sherwood Park area, it's been like in the positive single digits every day for the last, basically since I got home from work. And I have been wearing a lot of skirts and such just because I love it. And when I've been dressing in like coveralls and stuff when I'm at work, I like to feel girly and pretty when I'm at home. So I've been doing a lot of that. So I am the person that will wear a sweater like this and shorts, or at least I'll wear like a skirt and then I'll put like a warm, like even here today I wore like a little pleated skirt and then I have like a coat on, but it is what it is. All right, so these are the Gianna pullover sweaters from Michelle May. And again, like I mentioned, we have blue, coral, pink, and sage green. I'm wearing the coral. I'll be right back. I'm gonna just snag the green off one of the other racks. Okay, here's a large. So this is called summer sage green or spring sage green. Super pretty. It's interesting because it looks really vibrant on its own, but then next to the coral, because the coral is by far the most vibrant, it does look a little bit more sagey, but a good mix of like bright, but still springy colors, which I think one's kind of trying to hide. There we go. Just a really gorgeous assortment of colors that these come in. I'm really excited about them. Oh, I totally agree, Reen. I love lifting too. I used to power lift. It's been a long time. I don't think I'd get back into that again because I messed up my back pretty badly when I did, and it still like bothers me every once in a while, but like even just like kettlebell workouts and stuff like that, I absolutely love. So totally get that. I also hate cardio, but I do find that I like walking on a treadmill if I have like a show to watch, or biking or the elliptical. Like I can do cardio if I have something to distract me, if that makes sense. Thank you, Annette. I also love these sweaters, and yes, I love the color of this one too. That's why I tried this one on because it was my favorite. I'm really excited because orange is a really hard color for me to pull off, but I have learned that this kind of like corally, like more pinkish and less yellowish kind of orange does work for me, so I absolutely love it. So again, this is the coral one. They are available in sizes small through 3X, and we're all wearing our typical sizing for this one. So Christine's in the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa wears the extra large, and I'm wearing my usual 2X for just a nice like typical sweater fit. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it's not super fitted, but it's also not super loose. This isn't the kind of sweater that's meant to be like a big cozy oversized sweater. So because of that, I stuck with my typical 2X in this one, and I do really like the fit of this one, especially paired with shorts. Again, like having it with something a little bit sleeker on the bottom, I think that the 2X is a really nice fit on me for this one. I could try on a 3X if anyone wants it. Actually, the green I grabbed is a large, but I might even have the 3X in the green, so I'll grab it. If you guys want to see it, I'll have it there. If not, I'll move on. But yes, I do have the green in the 3X, so if there is a desire to see me wearing the 3X, I did grab the green one in the 3X as well, but I would definitely say that the 2X is my true size for this one. So it is 100% acrylic. It is a really nice soft feeling acrylic as well. And then if I get up close, you can see this kind of almost, I don't even know what to call that shape. It's not a diamond, some kind of like stretched out baguette octagon shape. I have no idea. I'm definitely not like a knitter too, so I don't know what to call knits. I'm pretty sure if it's like anything even remotely like Brady looking, I'd call it a cable knit. And other than that, that's it. Yes, please. Okay, I will definitely try on, because I also haven't tried on the green because we didn't have the 2X up here for me to take photos in. So I'm just kind of personally curious to see what the green looks like. So before I do that, I will just quickly talk about the shorts that I'm wearing, because that's part of the Wednesday drop as well. And then I'll pop over and switch to the green 3X for the sweater. These sweaters are launching tomorrow, Wednesday at 8 p.m. as part of, actually let me double check. Pretty sure they're the 8 p.m. I don't think they're a 1 p.m. drop, but I can check quickly. Oh, I lied. So the Gianna sweaters are the 1 p.m. bonus. So the rest of the pieces I'm trying on are the 8 p.m., but the Gianna sweaters in all 4 colors are going to be launching at 1 p.m. tomorrow on Wednesday. So 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay, so the shorts, these are the Alisters, or in other words, the high-rise slim shorts. These ones are retailing for $97, and they're available in small through 3X. So just a reminder that Judy Blue shorts are letter sizes as opposed to number sizes. I do find that they correlate pretty well with sizing that I wear in other brands as well. So I do wear the 2X in the shorts. When I was a true like 20, I more often sized, I almost always was wearing the 3X. So I would say that the size 18 is kind of like that dividing mark between the 2X and the 3X. If you're a 20, 22, you're definitely gonna prefer that 3X. If you're like a 16, 18, you're probably gonna be in that 2X. And then Melissa typically wears the 1X, so that 14 is kind of where the 1X comfort zone is, at least in our personal experience. The shorts are $97. The sweaters, the Gianna pullovers, are $74 for those ones, Reed. All right. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to switch into the 3X for the green sweater. This is such a pretty shade of green. It's a little too vibrant to be like a matcha color, but I feel like it still gives that kind of like matcha-ish vibes. Okay, so here I am in the 3X, and I actually like the 3X more than I thought it would. There's not as much difference between the 2X and the 3X as there is, I find, in other Michelle May pieces, like some of the, like the Blairs or the Avas or something like that. I find that this is more similar in size to the 2X than I was expecting. A little bit of the extra sleeve length, not that that was a concern with the 2X. A little bit more torso length, but I would say definitely the place I notice it the most is in the shoulders and the bust. This is getting a little bit less in that like fitted sweater and a little bit more into the comfy, especially in the way it kind of drapes off my shoulders. If I had a bigger bust, I think I would fill this out a bit more and it would look a little bit closer to how the 2X was fitting me, but there is, I thought it would be more in like the hips and the stomach, but I'm really happy this fits fairly similarly. I find that most of the extra fabric for me is definitely in this like upper body area, but I'm not mad at it. Like I thought that it would be fitting like quite a bit more oversized, but I actually don't mind how the 3X fits as well. So this one would definitely, I would say, true to size, but like depending on fit preference, you could size up and you're still going to get a really nice fit sweater. Is not going to be too big on you. Exactly, Annette. There is a slight difference, but again, I'm not mad about it. I thought it would be like a lot more drastically oversized, but no, it is just a little bit more relaxed fitting, I would say. It's not even like oversized quite. I would just call it more of a relaxed fit. And then I guess I didn't quite finish showing off of the Ava jeans. They do have these pockets in the back with the embroidery, and they've got that little double button kind of detail here. And then no physical distressing in terms of ripping or anything like that, but we do have some pretty significant fading on the front of these ones. These are a really nice length, I find, where they're not gonna do the, at least for my legs, I'm not gonna get chub rub. I could wear these like out and about, like walking around all day, and they're long enough that I'm not going to get that really awful chafe in the middle of my legs. So that's really nice. These ones, because of that, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably cuff them a little bit, but personally, I would probably leave these ones uncuffed just because they're at that like perfect length where they're not going to chafe. So again, these were the Alistair shorts. And so all of that will be launching on Wednesday. And then I think I have at least one more piece. I have two more pieces. I have a new Ava tank that will be launching on Wednesday, and then I have the Allison T in ivory as well. So let's go with the Ava tank. I have the 2X here. And then we'll follow up with the T. And the Allison T is just because we've had a lot of Michelle May stuff, so we're kind of going back to some of our older, like tried and true basic pieces. So the Allison T is from the Chris and Carol brand. Every once in a while, we like to bring our OGs back. Sometimes in new colors, and a lot of the times we'll bring them back in like, you know, the basics like black, white, navy, that kind of thing. Okay, so this is the Wednesday new Ava tank. So not part of the restock today, but this will be a new one launching on Wednesday. This pattern is called Vintage Gray Floral. This one's retailing for $49, and we have like the full range of Michelle May sizing for this one. So all the way down to extra small and all the way up to 4X. So we have a ton of accommodation in terms of sizing. If you are someone who likes to size up even further than that 3X, having that 4X means that we can have even more options for like lots and lots of different people. Yes, Annette, I'm in the 2X for the shorts. The 3X are definitely, I haven't successfully worn a 3X short in probably a year now. They are just like, they're way too much in the hip and thigh area. They're just, they look too big. So I'm in a 2X in the shorts for sure. And I'm also wearing a 2X in the Ava tank for this one. So nice wider bra friendly straps for the Ava tank. Again, same fit as the ones that I tried on at the start of the live, just a very different pattern. This is one that I find very like approachable in terms of being able to have this go cross season. The cooler tones say winter. There's with that little bit of like blush mixed in there, that's a good kind of tie into spring. I feel like the bright like contrast between the gray and the white can even pull into summer. So I feel like right off the bat, I can easily see this working for like 3 of the 4 seasons. And I'm sure you could probably even tie this in with fall by pairing it with some warmer pieces as well. So just a really gorgeous pattern. I'll show it off in the back as well. So again, this is the Ava tank in Vintage Gray Floral, which is part of the 8 p.m. Wednesday drop. And then the last piece that I have for Wednesday to try on will be the Allison T in ivory. I was gonna say white, but I was like, it doesn't look quite white. So yeah, definitely ivory. So this again is from the Chris and Carol brand. So for Chris and Carol, I still wear my typical 3X in this one. I do find that even with the little bit of weight that I've lost over the last, I guess it's been like a year now, I still wear my typical 3X in this one. We can see it with the Allison T with the 3X. It's still fitted nice in the bust area, but it's not pulling in the shoulders or anything like that. This one does have a little bit of a shorter sleeve length, especially compared to something like the Sarah T. But then once we get kind of in this area, it is just a really nice flowy fabric. It is just slightly longer in the back, and there's not like quite a dramatic swoop, but there is just like the tiniest little bit here. It does just fall kind of from the bust and shoulders, and because it has this kind of curve here, it's just a really nice flattering fit. It really like elongates the torso and kind of helps with that like hourglass shape. So they're super flattering t-shirts. just finished cancer treatment, so your body's changed so much. Oh no, I can totally appreciate that, Annette. First of all, congrats for finishing treatments. That's fantastic. And similarly, my body has changed. Not anything like cancer. Like anyone who deals with that is an absolute like incredible, strong person. I can't even imagine. But for medical reasons, my body, I have lost a decent amount of weight in about the last year and a bit, and also just being someone who's overweight, my life has been like yo-yo dieting, sizes changed. Within the past 5 years, I've been like 150-pound variance from my biggest to my smallest weight. So I totally understand, and it's so hard navigating changing your body, changing and buying new clothes. And there's always this hesitation, at least I found, where if you've lost weight, you're scared to buy things in your size because, oh, what if I gain it back? Or if the other thing too is that like when you're bigger, there's this reluctance because like if you buy bigger clothes, it's almost like you're admitting that failure or something. So like totally understand. I mean that's why we do our live try-ons, is so that we can actually give feedback and talk about it. So I'm just glad that you feel comfortable to answer or to ask all these questions. I'm glad that my answers are helping. And again, you were a total rock star to have gone through that, and I wish nothing for the best for you. And yeah, if there's any other questions, anything, if you want to see me in other sizes, please don't hesitate to ask. Again, that is like literally the whole point of why I'm here. So thank you so much, Annette. I appreciate to know that me just sitting here and yapping about clothes is helping you. And I can definitely, while I can't relate directly to what you're dealing with, I can relate to the feeling of like trying to dress a body that's going up and down. And not only I find, especially when there's like medical things involved, you're not just going up and down, like your body composition is changing, like you might gain or lose all in one specific area. Like it is so hard. So I see you, totally understand. Yes, for sure. Okay, so with that, we'll get back on track. Yeah, so the Allison T, I am still wearing my typical 3X, true to size. For these ones, they're available in sizes small through 3X. With the medium size being a 1X, and that is what Melissa wears. So Christina's in the small, Carrie is in the medium, Melissa wears the 1X large, and then I am in my typical 3X that I typically wear for Chris and Carol, which is true for this top as well. So again, this is the Allison T in ivory, $36 for this one. Size is small for 3X, and we're all in our typical sizes, including me in my usual 3X that I wear for Chris and Carol. Okay, that's everything for Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday, the 12th, we have, I think, less things that, yeah, we have fewer things coming in plus, but we do have the button snap Henley top in micro pink floral, another really cute one from Michelle May. And so this one I found that I was kind of between sizes for this one. I have both the 2X and the 3X here. I'm gonna try on the 2X first. And usually, because I find like, because I tried these on last week when I was doing photos, but if I leave both, usually what I do if there's a size that's not my size, I'll just put it on the end of the rack. But if I leave both sizes, it means that I like the fit of both, or I could kind of go either way. So actually, maybe I'll start with the 3X just to try something a little different. And then if I feel like it's a little bit too loose, we can switch into the 2X. Or we could just see how the 3X fits. Okay. Well, and I just put it on backwards. I pulled it over and I looked down and I'm like, why are there no buttons in the front? This isn't Henley, is it not? Because they were in the back. They are supposed to be in the front. That was just a me issue. Okay, so this is the 3X. And I find that similar to the, which one was it? To the sweaters, I prefer just a slightly more fitted look. But I would say the 3X does still fit if you prefer a little bit of a more relaxed fit for your Henleys. This would definitely work. The sleeves are really nice and long on the 3X, and the length is really good. It's almost booty coverage for me, but I do think I want to throw the 2X back on just because I would like it to be a little bit more fitted, again, especially in this kind of like bust area. But this is not like so dramatically oversized that I feel like I'm drowning in it. Whereas like, for example, when I put on a Blair long sleeve, the first time I put one on in the 3X, I walk around the corner and Carrie's like, I think we need to get you a different one, sweetheart. You are drowning in that. That is too big. And I was like, you are right. And it just didn't look right. This, definitely not the case. Like this one, I feel like you could go with your larger size and still be comfortable. But I am going to switch to the 2X just because I do think I am going to prefer that one for my own personal fit. I find for me that unless it's like a cardigan or a sweatshirt, which I want it to be like as big and flumpy as possible, I prefer my clothes to fit a little bit more on the fitted side. And I think a lot of that, which for better or worse, is kind of like rebelling for all of the years growing up as a plus size girl that I was told that like you need to not wear anything tight, you need to like hide your body and you know, don't show it off. You don't want people to know that you're fat, even though they do. Like they're still gonna know. And so now it's like I dress the opposite way. Not that I show a lot of skin. I show a lot of skin when appropriate. Like I love shorts and stuff like that. And I'll wear, you know, crop tops and things like that. And it's kind of like, I think it's my little internal like rebelling against being told to wear like hoodies and like long sleeve, just black boxy things. Still wear a lot of black, but that's more because of the goth thing. So, okay, so this is the 2X. I definitely prefer this for myself. Again, it's more fitted, but it's not like tight by any means. There is still quite a bit of looseness and lots of stretch in the fabric, and it's just a little bit more snug, especially in the bust area, but it's not tight by any means. So I would definitely say this is my preferred size, is the 2X for this one. So again, this is the button snap Henley top from Michelle May in micro pink floral. This one's retailing for $59. And we have this one available in almost the entire Michelle May size range. So we have it in small, no extra small unfortunately, but we have it in small all the way up to 4XL. Again, I'm wearing the 2X. I can wear the 3X if I want a little bit more room, but the 2X is definitely my preferred fit. Once again, tragically enough for me, there's no thumb holes, but there is this really cute kind of like double hem detail. We have it on the sleeves. And it's not on the neckline here, which I think is kind of good because I think it might bother me if it was on the neckline. But we do have it on the bottom hem of the shirt as well, where we have, because it's the top itself is like 2 layers of the fabric, and then they serge it together and then they leave the 2 rough edges. So I think that's really pretty. I think it's a nice detail. And then we do have the little snap buttons up here. These are all fully functional, so you can have them fully done up. You can have just a little bit of peeky if you want. You could go really cheeky and undo them all, which I love the versatility of having lots of buttons like this. Like if you've got a really cute little charm necklace, you could do it like this and just unbutton a couple, and then it's a really good way to frame like a really pretty necklace or something like that, which I do quite a lot. I like having, especially if I'm wearing something V-neck or with like a collar, like a polo or something. I love putting in a little necklace where the charm or the pin just sits like right in that spot there. Super pretty. Again, this is from Michelle May. This is the button snap Henley top in micro pink floral. Sizes small through 4X for this one. We're all wearing our typical Michelle May sizing. And this one's gonna be $59. There is also apparently a cardigan that's supposed to be in plus. I don't see it here. Oh no, I lied. That is this one. It's described as being neutral, but for some reason my brain reads this as being like very pink, which I mean it's kind of pink and gray, but it's like a very neutral like pink. So totally fair. So I'm gonna pop this one on. I have the 2X on my rack, and I do find for Michelle May, one of the few times where I will size up will be something like this, where it's a cardigan that goes like over unbuttoned like this. Those I find I usually like, if I'm gonna size up, that'll be the time. I still have the 2X on my rack for this one. I honestly don't even know if I tried the 3X on, but with this one being like not like a long flowy cardigan, I was probably cool with the 2X for this one. Yeah, so this is the 2X. I would say this one, for it being like more of like a fitted cardigan meant to be like a cute little cover piece, I would say the 2X fits. I could definitely size up to the 3X if I wanted it to be a little bit more like oversized, relaxed, that really kind of like thrown on, comfy, curling up by the fireplace with a book kind of vibe. Is it obvious that I've been doing that a lot during my days off? Because I've definitely been, not by the fireplace because it's been nice out, but I have a chaise lounge upstairs in my bonus room, and It's the reading chair as we know it, and the dogs know that too, and they know that if I go sit in that chair, they both come and they'll, at least one of them, but usually both of them will come, and they love to just like lay on either side of my legs while my legs are out, and I'll just read in that chaise lounge. And it is awesome, and it's like the one time when my dogs get along enough to like sit together and be quiet and not be like playing or like fighting with each other, which is great. Yeah, so that is a tangent again, but that's like the vibe of the sweater. So like if I want this one to be more of like a light covering, especially if I wanted to wear it over a dress or something like that, I would stick with this, the 2X. If I wanted to be a little bit cozier, layer it over like a t-shirt and a pair of leggings for at home, I would size up to the 3X for this one. So it is described as the Pattern Mix Neutral is what this one is called. Again, this one is from Michelle May as well. But if I get up close, I guess in contrast to like the white that is on the background of this, it does look a little more neutral, but when it was against this pink wall, and even before, like this neutral color does read very blush to me. Like it is a neutral color, but it reads very like nude pink, almost like skin tone. And then the gray is more of a bluey greeny based gray. So I feel like from a distance, like this could be read as gray and neutral, or it could be read as like a very muted pink and a very muted blue, if that makes sense. I think if you styled it with certain colors, it'll look more nude, and if you style it with other colors, it'll look more pinkish, if that makes sense. Or maybe I'm just crazy and I'm the only one who thinks this looks kind of pink, because now I'm like looking at it compared to the wall, I'm like, well, now I don't think it looks pink at all, but I thought it was pink at first. Anyways, lots of cute pattern mixes in here. We've got the checked pattern, which up close, they're not quite perfect squares. They're kind of wiggly. They look a little drunk almost. And we also have lots of stripes as well. You did not miss the wide leg GBs. I think those are literally the next thing, Rena. I think you're going, if these are the ones you're talking about, those are literally the things I'm putting on next, so you have incredible timing. So again, this one is the Pattern Mix Neutral Cardigan from Michelle May. I can wear the 2X or the 3X if I want to size up for some like oversized, comforting kind of layering. This one's retailing for $82, and it's available in sizes extra small up to 3X for this one. I would definitely describe this one as true to size, but if you want it to be more of that like oversized, like comfy, relaxed fit, you could size up for this one. All right, so those are the two pieces that I have for the Thursday. And so with that, we are moving on to, oh man, I just realized it's Friday the 13th this month, isn't it? Which means next month will also be Friday the 13th, because February. It's not a leap year this year, is it? No, I think the 2024 was, I think. Yes, the 13th. Well, I just put 2024 because I said that, and I was like, what, the pocket tee? We haven't had those in a hot minute. Yeah, because we did 2 years ago in February. Okay, yeah, so I have the wide leg jeans. We have another Ava tank, and I have the Allison tee in brown as well. So I will switch on over to the wide leg Judy's, and then yeah, we've got another Blair, another Ava, and the Allison. Let's start with the Allison. And then that fuzzy brown cardigan on the end there, I believe, I need to double check, but I believe that one already launched on Monday, and it only comes in small, medium, large, but I kept walking past it on Carrie and Christine's racks while we were doing photos this morning, and every time I walked past it, I was like, I want to try that on. It's so stinking cute, and I think it would look really cute with a little high-waisted pleated skirt, which is exactly what I wore here today. So every time I walked by it, I was like, I want to put that on. I want to try it on. And so Carrie was like, okay, do it. And I put it on, and it's definitely not like a relaxed, like oversized fit like it would be on Christine or Carrie, but it does fit. And then so Christine's like, yeah, you should put that on in your live. And I was like, all right, can do. And we have it in a few colors too, so I'll throw that one on and double check the launch day for that one after I get out in these jeans. These jeans are gonna have so much stretch in them because they have Lycra. Yes, they do. Oh yeah, these are fantastic, comfy jeans. So these are, oh, they've got an iron-on patch inside. That's cute. I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, so these ones have the little tag on them because they've got the 360 stretch from having a bunch of Lycra in them. And my God, do these feel like some comfy freaking jeans. These are the wide legs, Rain, that you've been waiting for. Okay. Yeah, so here we have the Allison T in brown. I'll just quickly talk about this one because we already talked about the ivory one that's launching earlier. $36. Again, we have a little bit of a shorter t-shirt sleeve for this one. It has that really nice curved shaped hem in the front, and then a little bit of the scallop on the side, but not super dramatic. Nice length. If you are, you know, not 6'1", you could probably wear these as like tunic length with leggings, and it's going to look super, super cute, and just a really nice flattering cut of t-shirt. And now that we talked about that, I'm going to now tie it up because we need to admire these jeans from all angles because these are stunning and so, so comfy. I'm sure a big part of that is because of that Lycra in them, but these are friggin' awesome. And the length is pretty good too. So I usually wear like a 35 to 36 inch inseam. I'm gonna guess these are a 34 or at least a 33 and a half because they're almost touching the floor on me, which means they're almost long enough for me. So these are the Judy Blue high-rise retro wide leg jeans in dark wash, aka the Ricardos. These ones are located. They're located on my body currently. These ones are retailing for $102. I think that higher price point is because of the extra construction and material that goes in with them having that Lycra 360 stretch, and because they are that more like tailored, not quite like a trouser jean cut, but they do have a little bit more of that like tailored shape. But honestly, so worth it because these feel incredible. So they're available in sizes 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22W for plus sizes. And we all wear our typical sizing in this one. So Christine's in the 3, Carrie's in the 9, Melissa wears the usual 14, and I'm in my usual 18 for these ones. Even though they are very, very stretchy because of the Lycra, I don't think I would size down just because I think they would be a little bit short in the rise for me if I size down, and I think that they wouldn't necessarily be too tight, but I don't want to have to, like, just because they can stretch doesn't mean they should. If that's the case, like these still, in my usual 18, these fit absolutely beautifully, and they just are so comfy because of all of that extra stretch, which makes them feel incredible, if that makes sense. So they are this really gorgeous, like dark indigo wash, and they have this really interesting kind of cut to them with the side seam, where the side seam actually pulls forward, and then as it goes to the front of the jean, it ends up being like in the center of my leg. I think if I do this, you can kind of see, like it ends up being quite centered. So instead of just running straight down, it kind of curves and comes to the front, and it ends near the front of the jean. And I think that's part of what gives it that trouser vibe too, is because it has that seam cutting across the front, and without being a true trouser where it has like the seam running down the front, it just gives it something a little bit different. It also has that cuff, or I guess cuff's not quite the right word, but it does have a folded, a seam, like it is edged at the bottom. So I think that's part of also what gives it a little bit of that trouser vibe. We also have these kind of more shallow little square pockets here instead of a traditional jean pocket. There are these little square pockets, again, giving it trouser-ish vibes. And then the full back pockets. These are just cut absolutely beautifully. They're also really lightweight. So despite being like a full wide leg jean, I don't feel like I'm wearing 17 pounds of denim, and I don't feel like I'm gonna, you know, like wearing, I'm thinking back like, so like a little extreme, but like Junko jeans where they were like the giant jeans from like the 90s, and you'd walk and you could hear them go choo, choo, choo. That's not gonna happen with these because again, despite being wide leg, they're super lightweight, they have that stretch. I love the Lycra because it's helping them hold that structured shape without being heavy or too structured and still being really, really comfortable. These are gorgeous jeans. I understand why Reen's like, have you tried on the wide leg jeans yet? Because these are fantastic. So again, these are from Judy Blue. They are the Ricardos, or if you want the full legal name, the high-rise retro wide leg jeans in dark wash. These ones are retailing for $102, sizes 1 through 15, and then 14 through 22W, and we are all wearing our typical sizes. I would not size down just because of the Lycra and stretch. I think that instead of making them fit smaller, if that makes sense, or fit bigger, I guess, like where you could size down, I would say it just makes them a bajillion times more comfy than a typical pair of jeans because there's just beautiful stretch all over. So I would still say true to size for these ones. So true to your 2D blue sizing. Okay, what else did I have for Friday? I have the Blair long sleeve in Wildflower Gardens. Actually, before that, because I have this t-shirt tied up, I feel like that's going to be a good time to try on this little cardigan, which we have in some other colors too. Like I said, I believe this one launched yesterday. I'm just going to double check which one this is. 0209, 26. I think we have some other colors for this one as well. Yeah, so this is the Power Play striped knit cardigan. It comes in small, medium, and medium large. I'm currently wearing the medium large, so it is definitely like a smaller cropped fit on me, but oh my god, actually with these trousers, this is freaking cute. So again, I know not everyone likes a crop, but especially with like a high-waisted jean or something, I am no stranger to a crop. I love crop tops. I tie my t-shirts in knots like this all the time, and I think that me in the medium large with this, like, this is adorable. I'm gonna have to remember this and like take a picture after my live because this is, I mean, actually I'm almost done. So there's a mirror right here. I'm gonna take a selfie and post it when we're done here because this is actually so freaking cute. So these jeans, these launch on Friday as part of the regular drop. So they'll be Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, so the Power Play sweaters, these launched on Monday. They're retailing for $64. I'm currently wearing the black and gray in the medium large. Carrie and Christine, I believe, both wore the small medium. Yes, they did. If I'm wearing the medium large like this, I'm sure Melissa would also be able to wear the medium large very comfortably. And they also come in a couple other colors. They come in a gray and pink and a gray and blue. And they are like pastels, but like brighter pastels. They're really cute as well. But of course me, sorry, excuse me. Oh, like I said, I'm trying not to sneeze in your guys' faces. It just feels rude. The black and gray, it spoke to me immediately. I thought this would be really cute with a pair of like, I want to try it with like a high-waisted pleated skirt, but seeing it even with these trouser jeans, like super cute. So this one's already on mine, and again, it's retailing for, what did I say? $64, 3 different colors, adorable. This is the one that I was like, I just have to try it. I've walked past it so many times and it's so cute. I just need to know. Okay, let's go back to the 13th. Now that I did my little time work back to Monday, just to humor myself. Okay, yeah, so we have the Blair long sleeve in Wildflower Gardens that I can try. I think I mentioned this, maybe I didn't, because my last live I was with Melissa, but maybe it was my last solo live that I had like in between my work shifts, but I am going to be purchasing so many Blairs because I already have, I think, 3 of them personally, and they are all in my closet locked away at camp right now because these are the absolute best things for layering under my coveralls. For my job, I have to wear full FR coveralls all the time, which is super annoying, especially when you have to go to the bathroom, but it is what it is. But just like with the thumb holes so that when I'm like taking my coveralls on and off, my top doesn't get all like pulled away. It's a perfect nice light weight that I can layer it under like a coat or a hoodie under when it's cold under my coveralls. And then if it's, you know, if I'm indoors and I don't need all that, I can take it off and I can have just this or this like layered under a t-shirt under my coveralls. And then when I'm in the lab and I don't need to have my full coveralls on anymore, what I like to do is I'll unzip them to my waist and then I'll tie them around my waist. And then I just have the Blair on, and so cute. So love these. These are absolutely my favorite. Right, and cute with a blank tank or with a crop. Yeah, for the cardigan, 100% agree. I also think it would be really cute layered over a dress too. I know they launched with those little striped dresses, which came small, medium, large. Those ones definitely would not work for me because even if they worked for me width-wise, which I don't think they would, I'm pretty sure they would not be dress length on me. There's been a couple of times where we've had t-shirt dresses, like quote-unquote t-shirt dresses, and like when Christine tries them on, it's fine, and then Carrie will try them on and we're like, okay, I guess it's a t-shirt dress, and then Melissa will try it on and we're like, ooh, it's getting harder to call that a t-shirt dress, and then I'll try it on and we're like, okay, that's a t-shirt. Okay. There is the Blair. I'm also going to bring back all of the clothing I've been hoarding over here for the last couple of rounds of changing. There we go. These were here, I believe. Doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so here we have the Blair long sleeve in Wildflower Gardens. Again, the Blairs are my favorite thing from Michelle May, which is a pretty lofty claim because I love a lot of things from Michelle May. The Cassie Foam pullover being a strong second contender, but it's the thumb holes, man. I love me a good thumb hole. I am wearing the 2X here. Again, this one is meant to be more of a fitted style, not tight, not compressive, but fitted. When I wear the 3X, I find that it just kind of hangs in a way that doesn't look like it's supposed to, because it's not supposed to be like a flowy fitted top, so it's just kind of too long and it just looks kind of awkward, whereas the 2X definitely fits as intended. I also really like layering these under an oversized t-shirt. Like I have a bunch of those Zenana, the like acid washed, super oversized like boyfriend tees that we had back in the summer. I have both of those. They're also in my closet at work, locked away, because layering those over the Blairs is like my daily uniform basically under my coveralls. That and a pair of either joggers or pocket leggings or skinny jeans. Like that's what I wear when I'm at work. So these fantastic, love the Blairs. And I mean, they're cute too, especially it's nice to feel when I'm like wearing hard hats and like safety boots and like not things that I feel are very pretty. It's nice to know that at least I'm wearing something pretty underneath my coveralls, and it helps me like still feel like a girl, even though I'm in a very like male dominated field and not exactly the most aesthetic of jobs, especially coming from having worked in an office for the last 5 years where I actually get to wear cute clothes and stuff. And now it's like, I also have to be careful because sometimes I work with chemicals and like I work with like industrial grade bleach, so if I spill any of that, it's gonna wreck it. But again, that's what the coveralls are for. But I also, if I know I'm mixing chemicals, I make sure I don't wear one of the tops I really like, because even if it like soaked through my coveralls, I would be so upset if I got a potassium permanganate stain on my Blairs. Anyways, this is the Blair long sleeve again in Wildflower Gardens. I'm going on so many tangents, you guys. I am so sorry. This one is retailing for $52, sizes extra small through 3X, so almost the full size range for Michelle May. We are missing that 4X, but we do go to the extra small in this one, which I'm really happy when we can accommodate for the very petite folks as well as the plus size folks. I love when we get the full size ranges in both directions because I love it. Everyone deserves to have something that fits them awesome. So I'm wearing my usual 2X for this one, and we're all wearing our typical sizes, which means Christine in the small, Carrie is in the medium, Melissa is in the extra large, and I'm in the 2X. This is another pattern that I feel like could really cross a lot of seasons because it is more muted for and like a little bit more cool tone for winter, but we could pull into these oranges and these reds to make it pop more for spring. This one I feel like you could even pull into fall because we have these kind of like rusty brick reds and oranges. You could really lean into that and dress this with more fall colors as well. So again, another one we could easily, just right from looking at it right off the bat, we can make work for 3 seasons. So again, retailing for $52. We're all wearing our typical sizes. And then it is almost 12:30, so I will just quickly show off the last piece. I've already been wearing a bajillion Ava tanks throughout this live, so I won't try this one on, but this is the Ava tank that is going to be launching on Friday. Oh, thanks, Reen. I'm so happy to be here too, especially with my job being 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off when I am here for my 2 weeks, well, off for me. It's on here, but off from my main job. I'm just so happy I get to spend it with you guys still too. But yeah, so this is the last Ava tank. This one is launching on Friday. This is in the bright floral pattern. This one is definitely the brightest of the bunch that we've seen, but I do like that it still has kind of a faded effect to it. So instead of being on like a black background, if I get up really close, you can see it's more of like a charcoal. And because of that, it just makes the top a little bit less high contrast, and again that makes it a little bit more accessible for more seasons. So this is one right off the bat that I definitely think summer, and then because of all the reds and oranges, I definitely think fall as well. I think if it was more high contrast, it would be a little bit more fall winter, but with it being a little bit more muted with the charcoal, I think that makes it a little bit more accessible to dress for multiple seasons. This one is definitely one of the louder prints that we've seen too, because a lot of the florals we've had have been like this, where they're a little bit more white background, a little bit more spaced out. So this one is a busier print, but I do like that we have the variety because we've got, you know, launching today with the restocks, we've got some, solid colors. We have these more spaced out prints. We've got larger prints, and then now we're getting something that is more print forward that you can pair, where this is the kind of like showpiece of the outfit, and you pair it with like a plain jean and like a black cardigan or something like that, and let this really be the centerpiece of the outfit. So that is it for what's launching on Friday. For Saturday, I don't see any launches yet, so I don't have anything else to speak to. So I think we are good to go. I mean, like I said, it is already almost 12:30. To be fair, we had a bit of a late start just tracking down all my pieces, but I think we are good to go. So thank you everyone who joined in. Any new faces, a lot of my regulars, always happy to see you guys. Thank you for requesting me trying on different sizes, especially in the Eva tank and any of the other Michelle May pieces where I typically wear a 2X, but I can try a 3X. That is literally why I am here. So if I'm ever, like in the other way too, like something like this, like we didn't even put this on my rack, but I just wanted to try it on for my own sake and found out, hey, the medium large does work for me. It's different than how it would fit Christine or Carrie, but it does work for me. So if you ever want to see any piece that you think might work for a plus size body, one way or the other, whether you want me to try a size larger, or if you want to see if there is something that's one size but like looks like it might accommodate my body, that is literally why I am here. I am so happy to do that for you guys. Thank you, Belinda. You have a great week too. So yes, awesome. Thanks again, everyone. Once again, my name is Michelle. I am the size 2X, 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. And said ampersand on Saturday. Yes, we do have ampersand coming. We don't have all of it though. I believe it's still being unpacked, so I don't have it to try on, but there will be, I'm sure, a live later in the week to talk about the ampersand that is coming. But nothing on my rack for now, and I don't think it's even in the iPad yet. So with that, I wish everyone a fantastic week. I hope the weather is good wherever you are. I know there's been some storms and stuff further out east, so I hope everyone's doing okay out there. It is beautiful here. It's supposed to be like +7 today. Already the sun is shining. There's barely any snow. I don't think there's any snow in Calgary, which is nuts. So yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of your week, and I will see everyone again on Tuesday. I will be here next Tuesday, and then I'll be gone again for 2 weeks. So I will miss you all terribly then, but I will see you all next week. All right, bye-bye.